Tubby. And if you go to tubby.gg and use code RYNNA, check out.
I am so sorry, but that is hilarious, Dark.
I don't know if you read. I don't know if you read the chat, JMS, but Dark Boy said, "Quench my thirst, femboy hooter." And sudden up close shot of Juris' crotch.
Oh boy.
Oh wow, I already messed up again. Doubly. Nah, I said I already messed up because our bodies were floating in the air again. Well, everybody, welcome into part 2 of Mischief Monday after the many games I was playing actually. So Rena.
Yeah.
Why am I so tall? And why is there a tiny you on the screen?
I don't know. Why'd you do that?
I don't know. I mean,
you make me super tiny.
Yeah, hang on. I'll get rid of tiny you. Boop.
No, compared to you though, like I look fucking minuscule.
Wasn't I 6'9"?
I mean, I'm 5'7". I'm not that short.
Better?
I mean, it's gonna take a second.
Here, let me put you on my chest. Anyway, chat, Rena, first thing first, before we start, let me show you something cute I found.
Okay. Oh no, I am pinned to you now.
Good.
You pinned me.
You are now pinned. Here.
Oh no.
Here. Let me move myself to the side. And here, you can sit on my tail.
But that's spiky and it hurts. I don't want to sit on that.
Oh, okay.
It'll stab my asshole.
I impale it all the time. What's wrong with stabbing it?
That's not the fun kind.
Well, before we start our game, let me show you something cute I found. Right after I get rid of Tiny You again. And make us a little bit bigger. So, obviously you know what Final Fantasy VII is. Like, I'm the guy who doesn't even like RPGs, and I know what that is. I found something cute. I think it's like a later project they're doing, which is them as, like, anime students. I want your opinion on them.
Okay.
First, I'll show it to the screen to everybody. Oof. Really big. I thought it was cute. And then let me share screen it with you. So we could both see at the same time.
Okay.
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 Alright.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wah.
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 Alright, tell me what you think. Well, first question I got is why did they make Irv look like that? But, hey, can you read Japanese?
No, I can't.
Yeah, don't look at me. I don't have a language potion yet. It said the trailer's coming later, but they at least showed some designs. So I want your opinion, because I know you like to draw, and I know you like these kind of characters. So the question is, do you want me to go in order, or do you want me to get your husband out of the way first?
I mean, you can go in order. That's fine.
Alright. So, what do you think of Cloud?
I mean, he looks like your typical schoolboy delinquent.
You could use a little more work to look more delinquent. It's too pretty.
I mean, here's the thing, though. His uniform's unbuttoned. He's slightly disheveled. He's got a bat. They're going for bad boy. Delinquent.
I think they could do more.
They're trying to make him into Urameshi from, Yu Yu Hakusho.
I mean, I get that. But
that's what I see.
But I feel like they can still...
Borrow.
I feel like they can go a little bit harder on it. because
I mean,
I think it's probably the pose for me, but that's kind of leaning more towards Advent Children Cloud when I feel like they could probably do even more with like original Cloud.
maybe. I mean, to be fair, they also have to like stay within the bounds of like recognizability of Cloud.
I mean, I get that, but here's my counter argument. Even though I'm going to skip a few characters, look at what they did with Aerith.
I don't know why they did that to her.
So why not go all the way with Cloud? I mean, don't get me wrong. This is definitely hot.
They shouldn't have done that to Aerith.
Why not? This is the girl who hit somebody with a steel chair, remember?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't seem right.
Well,
to be fair, I am not an Aerith stan, so.
Me either.
Tifa all the way. Tifa.
Well, let me go to my boy Barrett.
Looks like a gym teacher.
I think that's what they're going for.
Yeah. Definitely looks like a gym teacher.
I just realized they replaced this gun hand with a fan hand.
I think he's gonna fucking scream at me and beat the shit out of me if I don't run faster.
So basically Barrett in the game.
Yeah.
What? I like Barrett.
No, I'm just saying, yeah.
You said Tifa, so here's Tifa.
See, they should have switched it. They should have made Tifa into the outfit that Aerith is in, and Aerith should have been in the everyday schoolgirl, girl next door outfit.
I don't know. Honestly, Celtro is already starting to simp for Tifa. I mean, let's be real, everybody does.
I mean, Tifa's a fucking baddie.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a baddie. I'm telling you, they should have reversed it. Aerith and Tifa's outfit should have been reversed.
Yeah, look, even though I don't really play like turn-based RPGs, this still kind of like this would actually fit both Tifa and Aerith. It's just that you're probably leaning more towards the Aerith side because she's supposed to be the healer.
Well,
Also,
yeah, I mean, like I said, it's more appropriate for her. I just don't think Aerith's outfit's appropriate for her.
Well, here's Zack.
Also delinquent.
Yeah.
Cool guy delinquent that, like, everyone's got the hots for.
So basically, something I don't understand.
Yep.
Well, let's go to the
What they do to my boy?
So you're right now that meme. You're that scene from The Godfather right now. Look
what did they do to my boy?
Look how they massacred my boy.
Why did they do this to my boy? My love. He shouldn't look like that. He looks like a fucking... He looks like a nerd.
See? Celtro even pointed it out that you really didn't understand if you thought that Aerith and Tifa should have switched clothes.
Disagree with you. What did they do to my boy? They made him into look like he's a fucking nerd.
Well, he was always a nerd.
Nope. Doesn't fit him. Not like this.
Dude.
Nope.
Dude,
Nope.
he was a nerd with mama issues.
He should not look like this. They did him dirty. My mans. They gave him short hair. They couldn't even give him, like... I understand if they wanted to cut his hair from being down to his goddamn feet, but, like, at least make it somewhat long. That's, like, short. Or medium length, if you want to be technical. No, they did him dirty. Nope.
No, you know what he looks like? What's that dumbass name from Kingdom Hearts? Let me rephrase that. What's the dumbass silver hair? Okay, let me rephrase that even more.
Talking about Riku?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess he kind of looks like Riku. Yeah, no thanks. Nope. I mean, yeah, no. Shouldn't have done this to him. I don't like it.
I feel like it's from a game I haven't played.
NJL?
Yeah.
NGL.
The not Sephiroth silver hair guy.
The not silver hair guy. Yeah, he's not Sephiroth. I refuse to believe that that is Sephiroth.
No idea.
Jock.
He looks more like a teacher.
Mm,
Look at the badge around his neck, and then look at the
I
suit.
guess, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I can see it.
No idea.
Matt. Okay.
No idea, but does look fine.
She looks like a fucking math teacher. A very strict math teacher is gonna beat your knuckles because you got the math problem wrong.
But you don't think that's fine either?
Yes, mommy. I promise I'll study harder.
Heck is this button? I have no idea what the fuck any of this means. You?
I'm assuming it's some sort of like relationship chart.
I gotta learn. I gotta study Japanese. I feel like it's something that Square's gonna be doing a bit later.
It's
And
got to be some sort of relationship chart, I think. But no, they definitely did Sephiroth dirty.
he's got that gloomy look from Advent Children again. I don't like it.
See, I liked Advent Children.
I wasn't.
I was
I'm not
I
gonna
was a
lie.
fan of Advent Children.
I didn't like it until the Sephiroth fight. That's literally the best way to describe when I seen it.
Sephiroth, pull up Sephiroth again. Imatron's asking about Sephiroth.
Yeah.
Sephiroth looks like a fucking loser.
Yeah. Yeah, that's Sephiroth. If you know any Sephiroth experts, bring them over to the chat and tell me what the fuck. Yeah.
The fuck indeed. They shouldn't have done that to my boy.
Like
My
I-
love.
Like I said, he looks like that dumbass from Kingdom Hearts. But then I gotta remember they're all dumbasses in Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, they're all kind of stupid in Kingdom Hearts, but it's okay.
Uh.
I love them anyway. I actually really like the Kingdom Hearts series.
Ew.
Shut up. I can have an opinion that's different than yours.
I know. And I can always say that opinion's wrong anyway. You're not a fan of
Exactly. That is not Sephiroth. I love Sephiroth though. He's my man. I love him.
Honestly,
I have a thing for white-haired men.
Honestly, I'm trying to hold back my roasting side with this design for Sephiroth. Because I think that's Sephiroth from Wish. No, I don't think that's Sephiroth from Wish. That's Sephiroth from Temu.
No, he looks like... He looks not like what I would expect him to look like.
He's what happens. He's what happens if you ask your mom, "Hey, can we have Sephiroth?" and they say we have Sephiroth at home, and you forget that you live in the slums. Like even people who don't play Final Fantasy know what Sephiroth's supposed to look like.
It could have even if they didn't want him to have super fucking long hair, they could have made it longer.
You know what it
I
also
don't know.
is?
They could have also made him not look like a pushover.
That's exactly what I was gonna say. Like, remember how I was complaining I didn't like the way Cloud was posing because that gave me Advent Children vibes?
Yeah.
This doesn't even the face and everything and the vibes. That doesn't even look like Sephiroth.
Too nice looking.
That's not even good enough to be Kroger store brand Sephiroth. Yeah, that's a good point. And I think this picture just made it worse. The way that's posing and everything, that's definitely not Sephiroth. Rena?
Yep, definitely not him.
Mm.
I had to do a double take on that.
This looks like No, this doesn't even look like Final Fantasy. It looks like what would happen if Nintendo tried to make a Fire Emblem school anime. And this is your next lord for the next Fire Emblem game, who's also going to be the next fighter in Smash that causes a problem. It's like, I don't get it. Let me look at this album. But I stand by it. I like the serif design.
Nope.
What, you don't like it either? I like the serif.
I mean, like I said, I think it works better on Tiva.
I like the serif design all the way, though.
Mm-mm.
Like, you think these two should swap costumes?
Yes, I do.
Probably something they would do in the remakes. For a laugh. But
I don't think it's a laugh. I just think it's more appropriate.
But then again, I like the remake versions of these characters a little bit more anyway. Okay, yeah, it helps that Aerith hit somebody over the head with a steel chair, and that was a meme. But again, it happened. Maybe I just like the image of certain characters hitting over the head with steel chairs. But anyway, shall we actually get started with the game? Oh, no, wait. Before we do, I know you have some jokes, so come on, give me your best joke about the Sephiroth.
It's just sad. I have no jokes.
Oh, come on. I know there's a little bit of you wanting to make a joke
Nope.
about how bad he
Nope.
looks.
Just sad.
This looks like sequel of Inuyasha levels of bad.
No. Nope. No words. It's that bad. Hate it.
You know what also I know they're not going to have weapons, but I just also realized something. So obviously they weren't going to have weapons on the person. Remember, they replaced Barrett's gun with the fan. And I just thought about it. That is not his fucking sword. That is not even close to his sword.
Nope. I don't know what that's supposed to be.
No, I don't even know what that's supposed to be either, because his sword is supposed to be like taller than he is, remember?
Yeah, but I mean, they shrunk his hair, so they obviously gotta shrink his sword.
Jesus.
He's not compensating for anything anymore.
Yeah, there's nothing down there now. If they shrunk his hair and they shrunk his sword, what makes you think they wouldn't shrink down there either?
Maybe this is Assassin's Creed Sephiroth and the guy just mugged the actual Sephiroth. I'm a drone.
I forgot that actually happened in I forgot that actually happened in Black Flag too.
Hi, baby.
Like, you don't even call yourself an assassin in that one. They just do that. This is like a Sephiroth cosplayer who just gave up halfway and forgot to change on their way to school.
It's bad. If somebody cosplayed this, they'd think it was Riku.
No, they'd have to ask who it was first, because they had to go over the list of generic silver hair anime boys. That being said, I do want to see this era of cosplay.
Still don't like it.
Is that a tattoo on her? I just noticed that. Or my mouse is? I think that's a flower tattoo.
I have no idea. It's very small.
I still don't like this pose. Like, the thing is, I really think there's like two things you really need to do. Make him stand a little bit straighter and have his bat being like angled upward instead of downward. But that would lean him more towards the original and not Advent Children. Well, anyway, since we were done making fun of how Wish.com Sephiroth, you want to describe what the game we're about to put on is?
Do I need to describe it? It's a game.
I know. I usually do this every stream. I say, you want to describe, you tell me to do it, we just go back and forth, and we put on the game eventually.
I mean, I think you'd learn your lesson by now.
And you also should learn the lesson that I'm petty as fuck. To the point that I get thrown into a black hole just because I out-pettied you-know-who. But, shall we get started?
I suppose.
Yeah, I know. Put the game on the screen. So, what happened last time? I'm trying to remember.
A girl's father died, and she got accused of killing. They played chess.
Just keep arguing my robot minions are hauling the cart of purple stuff to the extraction point. Yeah, good luck with that. The moment it goes out without my consent, boom! Well, you don't think I would have my stuff wired?
Damn. You're gonna bust your shit open.
Yeah, I can always fix it real quick. Let's get started.
Let's get it started in here.
This is an attorney's runestone?
Oh, yes. What the fuck is the thingamajig?
What, the doohickey?
The doohickey. You didn't switch the thing.
I thought I switched it to cupboard. Why is it still that? It says I switched it to it. What the hell?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's still that.
Huh. Alright. Mini scuff.
If you're gonna defend her, you're gonna need one.
You begin to tear up. You've wanted one of these ever since you were a child. It's basically a badge of honor for attorneys.
You don't cry, Cuthbert.
Sorry.
You little pansy bitch.
Jesus. I know you're trying I know you're trying to act like the mentor thing, Rena, but did you have to really remind me of Never mind. You kind of reminded me of the Grand Sorceress.
Anyways, keep one thing in mind. If you try to defend her, the Inquisition isn't going to fight you fairly. Our court system only exists to create the illusion of justice, not actual justice. You'd be a fool to believe that they would believe in actual justice. They hate people like us, and they'll do everything in their power to sabotage you.
Damn it. You knew they'd get in your way, but you didn't expect them to be this blatant. Yeah, you ever wonder why I don't like court systems? I don't like this wishy-washy bullshit. Why do you think I don't like royalty either?
I don't know if I call it wishy-washy.
Well, what do you describe it? Because that's the closest I could think of with modern terms.
I mean, they're literally just trying to fucking put a blockade. It's not being wishy-washy, it's a blockade. Wishy-washy means that, like, you don't take something seriously.
Ugh. What's with all the noise? You're the knight from the tavern. That's Commander Orium White to you, kid.
That looks like a fucking maniac. He looks like he's killed the guy.
Probably has.
Look at him.
That's a knight.
Yep.
He's definitely killed a guy, someone.
Look at his armor.
Oh, that's actually some good detail. I just noticed.
Yeah.
That's not clean ass armor. Look at the like ridges where my thing is.
Oh, I know.
It's actually.
I know. That's what I was saying. Like,
Yeah.
it's really nicely made.
It's not that it's really nicely made. It's worn, and that's what makes it even better.
What I mean is like that they did a good job. They made it look like it's been used.
Yeah. Because armor that's actually seen combat is worn. It's not pretty. It's usually scratched up. So if you see someone coming in there with like a very shiny, looks like brand new practical armor, that person is a pushover.
That person has not seen war, and they very likely just have it
Yeah.
just to try to be more intimidating than they actually are.
Yeah, when I say pushover, I mean literally you could just push them over.
Not necessarily. It doesn't mean that they aren't tough.
Really? Because I've literally pushed over people in full plates of shiny armor before.
I mean, maybe you have, but there's also, like, it doesn't mean that people that wear armor don't work out. That shit's heavy. Full plate armor is super heavy, man.
I know. But I didn't expect her to send a kid to do her dirty work. Commander, he says that he wants to talk to the mage. And she's got a right to an attorney, doesn't she? Well, she hasn't been processed. Commander White looks confused for a moment. The hell kind of bullshit are you trying to pull? Let him through, you idiot. Yes, sir. The knight leads you through the halls of the dungeon. For something built in the capital, looks extremely old and decrepit.
Oh no. People are mad, they're scared, and they're sad.
You pick up the negative emotions of the prison nearby. It's a heavy and almost crushing feeling. You always had to avoid crowded places because of how sensitive you are to people's thoughts. You never felt this much concentrated despair before. You shan't afflict me with thy accursed magics. I have enchanted armor to detect it. Hey, Imatron, here's a funny thing.
Deflective.
Deflective.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Yeah. That sums it about right. Yeah, here's a little word of advice, Imatron. If you ever do magic, don't just focus solely on magic. You might also want to do some weightlifting too. Like, Rena. How would you feel if you ever see me play D&D and my sorcerer has 20 in strength and wisdom?
How the fuck did you roll that high, man? What fucking... Either how the fuck did you roll that high, or what the fuck stat... What stat is fucking 5?
I don't know.
Because if you're using point by, something gotta be, like, fucking 5. Sounds like the DMPC.
What if I just rolled for it and I got a bunch of good 20s?
It's extremely rare to get 20s. I've gotten good rolls before, but I don't think I've ever gotten 2 20s.
I'm gonna...
Seltro, what was the best character that I rolled? I don't remember.
Oh no, I'm trying. I didn't have to use magic to weight the dice. I just bought weighted dice and just got 20s off of it. There you go. Or, Rena, here's the simpler way to do it.
Sounds like cheating.
No, here's a simpler way to do it. I asked the DM if I could do it because I have a funny idea.
Some DMs are not that kind. Most DMs are not that kind.
So I can't really just walk up and say, hey, I want to play a sorcerer version of Senator Armstrong, and you won't let me do it?
Well, most DMs require you to roll, and you have to use whatever rolls you get. Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head either about which I've had a few characters that have rolled really fucking well and had like 17s and 18s for like a good chunk of their stats. I think like the lowest stat being 14. Oh, it's you.
Celesta's lying down on the cold floor in one of the dungeon cells. But she immediately gets up as soon as she sees you.
What are you doing here?
Trying to discuss how to make a high strength, high wisdom sorcerer with Rena here. So I probably do have to buy weighted dice just to get that going.
You can make your character what you want and even look for a homebrew to make it happen, but I wouldn't allow it if it's unbalanced or unfair to the other players. Yeah, see. That's the part. If it's unfair, then they're not going to allow it.
Oh. What if it's because I'm trying to set myself up as a secret final boss?
I mean, I've had characters that ended up being like a secret final boss. This was in Warhammer 40k. I actually had a character who ended up becoming the avatar of Isha. I'm not sure if you're familiar with that.
Are they orcs?
No, it's...
Then I don't.
Yeah. How do I describe Isha?
What are you doing here? Oh, that's you.
So, do you know Nurgle?
Nurgle. Not really.
Okay, well, I don't know how else to describe it. But yeah, no, my character ended up being a final boss and then everyone fucking ran away.
They didn't fight, they just ran?
They ran away like little bitches.
Pussies!
They got away.
That's just they just pussies then. There's no way around it, that's just being a pussy.
Personally don't trust people I don't know very well roleplay wise, but situations like that. I can even trust someone partway into the campaign, but I wouldn't plan around it. That was the ending of the campaign too. They ran. Yep. The end of the campaign, they ran away. I became the avatar of Isha, and then everyone ran away, and that was the end of the campaign. I was actually really upset about that, because I was like prepared to be this whole epic battle, and like they all just ran away.
Bitch move.
Yeah, bitch move. I mean, what can you expect?
Miss Timora told me about what happened to your father.
Yes, I know, the corrupted avatar of Isha.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry, I got distracted because I got really like focused in on the D&D conversation.
Yeah, and I forgot to change the title from Tekken 8 to this one. Let me fix that up real quick.
Have I had other characters be like the big bad at the end? I know I've had like some of my OCs become like the bad guy. Where not necessarily my PC was the bad guy, but my OCs were the bad guy.
I kind of wanted to make Jolene a big bad for you guys.
I just don't understand. I don't understand any of this. She's stuck thinking about D&D. I am. I love D&D. I mean, I like tabletop role-playing games in general. Why would someone do this to me? And why are they blaming me for it?
I'm not sure about the details, but it's clear that there were elements of magic involved in what happened. Since they arrested you based on that evidence, I can only conclude one thing. Celeste, you're a mage, aren't you? No sense hiding it anymore. Oh, that's you.
Well, it's her inner monologue that you hear.
Ah.
I'm not saying that out loud. Yes, I am.
Do you have noble blood?
Of course not. Why would you say that?
Sorry, but the ability to use magic is hereditary. Most mages tend to have some kind of noble blood. Not gonna lie, back in my day, Rena, we literally thought it was a biological thing, not a hereditary thing. Well, back in my day, that's what we thought. Because remember, back in my day, guys being able to use magic was rare, remember?
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think so much about that. You're adopted, yay!
There's no way in hell I'm adopted. There's no way I have noble blood.
I honestly don't like thinking about that. I'm the daughter of Jolene and Flintheart McCoy. That's all I need to know about myself.
It would probably be best not to push the matter further. Anyways, you were probably arrested because you're a mage.
What?
A crime was committed using magic, and you were the only mage around at the time.
Is that seriously the only reason? I didn't know how to cast one spell.
The Arcane Inquisition doesn't care about the truth, they only care about closing their cases. Celeste, your case is being pushed to trial. You're going to be brought before a judge within an hour.
What? Nobody told me anything.
Damn it, they weren't even planning on telling her? If you'll have me, I'd like to be your defense counsel for the trial.
I forgot you were an attorney. Would you really do that for me?
After everything I've seen them do, I just can't let them stand by and do nothing.
But they're part of the kingdom.
Yeah, and I have a bad attitude, a lot of fire, and I'm willing to assault royalty. Ask the prince, and I guess ask a certain princess we both know. Wait, does that one count? Hey, Rena, does that one count? Was that one?
Technically, you fought her, so.
Yeah, I mean, in the end, I think that one is more self-defense because she was coming after me first. And I know somebody would say no, that was still assault because that's a princess, but it's like she had a sword, so I don't know. Hey, chat, what do you think?
We don't have a chance.
It's hopeless. Celeste, man, king or god, I won't let them do anything to you.
What?
Sorry, it's just something I have a habit of saying.
No, don't apologize. I really appreciate you doing this.
It's clear the entire situation is bittersweet for her. And because of the Inquisition's delays, you haven't had any time to investigate the crime scene. You were confident before, but you can begin to doubt yourself, or not, you can really do this. Everything is happening so fast, it feels unreal. No, you have to do this. This is the exact reason why you became a lawyer. No matter what happens, you'll acquit Celeste.
If the magic does not fit, you must acquit.
A courtroom? I'm in a real courtroom. Actually, entering the courtroom has taken a lot of wind out of your sails. You've never been here as an attorney before. You've only ever acted as Miss Tamara's assistant.
Mm-hmm.
You're looking like a smug little bitch.
Yes,
Okay.
I am.
Also, your name is Arya Steelwind?
And I am confident that I will crush you beneath my foot.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
And I thought the Grand Sorcerer's name was a bit of a weird one.
Move aside, move along. Carry on.
Alright, Dark Gale. Forget I said that name. That was actually my mentor, the Grand Sorceress's last name. I never actually described her, did you? I just described my wife, which was also her daughter. And I'm still trying to figure out where they even got the name Dark Gale from. The woman at the prosecutor's bench is staring at you. Miss Tamora mentioned her before you went to see Celeste. What was her name again? You think it's Arya Steelwind? I wonder if she's going to be the Edgeworth of this game.
No, she's kind of hot.
You can feel the coldness in her glare burrowing into you. Why is she staring you down? Is she trying to intimidate you? Is she secretly undressing you with her eyes?
Who knows? Find out more next time.
Well, Rena does the exact same thing I just described to every hot girl she sees. Because it's working. Court is now in session for the trial of Celeste McCoy.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
Oh, the defense is also ready, Your Honor.
He doesn't necessarily sound very ready.
Regardless, let's begin the proceedings. Prosecutor Steelwind, please list the charges.
The defendant is Celeste McCoy, a mercenary for hire and a registered mage.
Wait, did she just say mercenary?
Yeah, I had to take up the job after my family's tavern was shut down.
Oh, right. That's not exactly the first occupation you choose.
She was charged with second-degree murder and neglect misuse of the arcane arts.
I see. So there was magic involved.
Yes, the crime occurred within the McCoy Tavern, a local inn that shut down years ago. The locals reportedly hearing a sound of a loud commotion coming from within the building. Hours later, a carriage driver that was nearby checked the disturbance. It was then that he found the victim, the defendant's sword still impaling his dead body. The Inquisition has provided an autopsy report and a record of the sword.
Died after being stabbed from behind with a magical blade. Fatal wounds show a heavy trace of transmutation magic. The alleged murder weapon. It's an ornately designed sword, but it has no magical properties.
Ornately.
What was the defendant's relationship with the victim? I see that they shared a last name.
The defendant is the victim's daughter, but not by blood. She was adopted into the family when she was an infant. Her birth parents are currently unknown.
I see. What an unfortunate turn of events.
Why is he looking up like that?
I don't know.
To begin, the prosecution would like to call Commander Orem White to the stand. Witness, please state your name and occupation for the court.
Name's Orem White. I'm commander of the Arcane Inquisition.
Orem, could you please testify with the details of the Inquisition's investigation?
Yeah. We got a call late at night. Someone discovered a dead body inside the McCoy Tavern. When we arrived on the scene, we found Flintheart McCoy dead on the floor, and the defendant's sword was still inside of him. We have several witnesses who heard the victim and defended in a long argument before the body was discovered. The argument must have turned ugly because the defendant killed the victim using her magic sword. Hold up, there's something wrong with that sentence. Isn't that really incriminating? One of her possessions is the murder weapon. Mr. Cuthbert, you may begin your cross-examination.
I take back that he seemed like a more competent attorney than Phoenix. He's just as incompetent.
This is his first case, remember?
We'll see.
You open your mouth to respond, but nothing comes out. You can't think of anything to say. Everything is blank. Mr. Cuthbert?
Why does he fucking look like it?
I don't know.
The fucking judge, man. He's... I don't know. Something's wrong with his face. I can't put my finger on it. Just feels unsettling to me.
All this magic and those spells to review the events of the past or induce truthful speaking, are they really mages or is this their cosplay LARP? You know, Amatron does got a point.
I mean, we do that in Fey Court.
Heck,
I said, I mentioned it last time where you pull out the memories.
You know, as much as I know the Fae hate me, they could just buy one of my truth serums to make it a hell of a lot easier for everybody.
It's funnier this way. Hey, what are you doing?
That literally sounds like something Jolene would say.
I mean, that's how the Fey Court operates. This is the part where you say something, right?
I'm sorry. I don't... Your anxiety is just getting worse, and your breaths are becoming more and more desperate. Are you hyperventilating?
What a disappointment.
Huh?
I was hoping to fight against the infamous Ruby Timora today. But it's clear you can't even hold a candle to her, you useless, pathetic lout. Your Honor, it's clear that the defense has nothing to say against the prosecution's overwhelming evidence.
Yep, this case is pretty open and shut. No, wait! This is what's supposed to happen.
I'm sorry, Tyrion. I couldn't acquit Frey. She was found guilty.
What? But that means... Are they going to execute her? No, not again. Are you seriously going to let this happen again?
Tyrion!
Celeste grabs your shoulder and shakes you out of your panic.
You need to calm down.
Her gaze is calm and focused despite the gravity of the situation, but she looks stern, not angry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean for this to...
Stop. Just listen to me. You know what to do, right? Just do it the same way you play chess.
What?
I don't know. You were so calm and focused when you were playing before. No matter how close I got to beating you, you always knew how to stay calm and win. So just channel that feeling and look at the pieces?
That doesn't make any sense, and yet... You take a moment to focus and let everything disappear from the world. Every statement that he made, every word that came out of his mouth, each of those possible weaknesses that you can attack, every bleak moment can be turned around. You just need to consider every angle. My apologies for the delay, Your Honor. The defense is ready to begin cross-examining the witness. Very well. So you said it's his face, right?
Yeah, I don't know. Something's wrong with his face.
I think it's the hairline.
Maybe, but when he got all bug-eyed, it looked really fucking weird earlier.
Mm.
There we go.
Thank God that worked. Carefully examine every statement he made and find something that contradicts the evidence in your notes. Once you do that, present the contradicting evidence and prove that his testimony is false. You're cross-examining a witness. Carefully examine each statement they made and find a statement that contradicts a clue, a spell, or profile in your notes. Once you identify the false statement, click the present button and present the contradicting evidence to move forward. It's that last sentence.
You can press, though.
I know, but it's this last sentence that caught my eye when he said it. Because the defendant...
her sword is not magic.
Exactly. But it has no magical properties.
That's what I mean.
Commander White, you testified that the victim was killed using the defendant's magical sword. Am I correct? Yeah, it's pretty obvious when you look at the crime scene. I think I'd actually have to disagree with you on that. The defendant's sword couldn't have possibly been the murder weapon. What are you talking about, kid? The sword was inside his body. Of course that killed him. That may be the case, but take a look at the autopsy report. It states that the fatal wound was heavily traces of magic. So how would a non-magical sword leave traces of magic on the body? What? To leave a trace like that, the wound would have to have been created with something magical. My client's sword may look fancy and expensive, but it is entirely mundane. That doesn't make a lick of sense. If the sword didn't kill him, then why was it in his body? Yes, I find that quite strange as well.
See? Look at him. He's all bug-eyed and shit.
Think it's the glasses?
I don't know, man. His face. Just looks weird. He's also got a receding hairline. That's also weird.
Well, there's only one reasonable explanation, Your Honor. The wound was created magically, and someone shoved the sword in the wound afterward. The hell are you talking about? The defendant is a damned mage. She could have easily killed the victim using magic. That may be, Commander, but why would she kill the victim using magic and then stab him with her sword? She would have just incriminating herself.
Yeah.
No, if anything, the series of events proves one thing. Someone used magic to kill the victim. And then they pushed my client's sword into the wound to frame her.
Objection! Don't get ahead of yourself.
What?
Your Honor, the defense is trying to spin the facts in his favor. He claims that a third party committed the crime and used the sword to frame the defendant. But wouldn't a simpler explanation be this? Magic was being channeled through the sword at the time of death. That is what left the magical trace on the body. Commander, please tell the defense how the murder was committed using magic.
What? Alright, alright. I think I see where you're going with this. It is true that the sword itself isn't magical, but magic can still be channeled through it. The defendant over there, her spell compendium has a spell called Mage Blade. She must have used it on her sword before stabbing the victim. That spell is the reason why there are traces of transmutation magic on the wound. So her spell compendium contains a spell called Mage Blade? A spell compendium is a magical device that lists every spell a mage can cast. Luckily, Celeste's compendium only contains one spell. That means she can only cast the one spell. So, Les, do you have your spell compendium with you?
No, I left it at the tavern after. Well, you know.
If you can't look at the description for Mage Blade, you have to approach this another way. The commander's testimony was a lot vaguer this time. If you can press his statements, you might be able to find new information that you can use against them. pretty easy to understand why she has Mage Blade. That's a pretty easy spell for anyone to learn. During cross-examination, you can press to acquire more information. Sometimes pressing the right statement can make the witness add to the statement in testimony.
I mean, Mage Blade isn't... You don't need an actual sword, though, to do Mage Blade. That just summons a magical sword.
Huh.
Mm.
Are you saying that my client used a spell and channeled it through her sword? Oh, there's no hold it? There are vast numbers of spells that operate... Oh, that's you, sorry.
There's a vast number of spells that operate like that. Spells from the School of Transmutation are almost always channeled through an object.
The defendant over there, her spell compendium has Mage Blade. Mage Blade?
It's a transmutation spell that sharpens my sword.
I don't think they got Mage Blade right.
Nope. I don't think that sharpens a sword.
No, that's just Reform, and that's an even easier spell.
I usually use it when I need to cut through my enemy's plate armor.
You didn't realize that she led such a lethal lifestyle. But anyways, wouldn't it be excessive for the defendant to use a spell like that on the victim? He wasn't wearing any kind of armor at the time of death.
The victim and the defendant were in an intense argument. Perhaps he used the spell in a bit of rage. It was a crime of passion, after all.
That theory's a little far-fetched. But you'll need hard evidence if you want to disprove it. But why would she go through the trouble of doing that? Her sword alone would have been enough to commit the murder. Mages are always looking for an excuse to throw their power around.
Well, that's,
Racist.
a bit presumptuous.
There's no rhyme or reason to it. Isn't that just your own personal bias, Commander?
Yeah, see? We don't need to understand why the defendant did what she did. The fact of the matter is that magic was present at the crime. Do you have an evidence of the contrary?
You don't yet. If she used a spell like that, wouldn't it have created traces of magic on the ground? How so? Well, let's say we follow the prosecution's theory. That would mean that the victim fell to the ground with the sword still inside him. At this point, Mage Blade would still be active, right? It would definitely leave a magical trace on the ground after making physical contact with it. We're already way ahead of you. We had our people scan the crime scene, and we found traces of transmutation right under the body, just like you said. Oh. If you still don't believe me, I have a picture of the crime scene right here.
Oh, why was this picture not brought to my attention?
That's a good point. Why don't we have that picture till now? There was no need. The entire case is open and shut. Huh? You've seen the pictures of the dead before, but it feels different now that the body is of someone you know. It looks like there are traces of magic on the ground. But the shape is a little weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
She's noticed something. What was that just now? You can see right in the photo she killed him with a stab from the front. How do I take a look?
Take a look at the sword.
I'm trying to.
Is there an image of her sword, like, that's
I don't see it
not
anywhere.
this picture?
Let me look at her sword.
No. Go back. Because that right there, that's her sword.
Yeah,
Open her sword up.
I can't.
You can't open it? That's so dumb.
Mm. There's something weird about the blade. Let me press for now, and then I'll probably figure it out.
It doesn't look right.
This photo does show that he was stabbed from the front, but why do you feel like there's something wrong with this picture? This would be a lot easier if you knew the parameters of Magic Blade, but perhaps you can get him to add statements or evidence to add to his testimony. The only thing that you could do now was press his statements.
Is there anything you didn't press?
No, I pressed it all.
You had to have missed something. Because he said there's only thing you can do is
Hold
press.
up!
Hmm?
Read this. Died after being stabbed from behind.
Oh.
Autopsy. I'm sorry, Commander White, but it seems that you presented another glaring contradiction. Oh yeah, and what's that? You said that my client stabbed the victim from the front. Am I correct? Yeah, you can see it plain in the picture. So where's your contradiction? That's the thing, Commander. Your picture clearly shows that the victim was stabbed from the front, but the autopsy report says that he died from the stab from behind. What?
You were supposed to release everything that you had. Why wasn't this photo given to me?
I'm not gonna lie, I'd be mad too if this was the case I found out. There was no need! There's no way it could have been anyone other than that damn mage. Murmurs ring out across the gallery. It didn't matter how corrupt the justice system was. They wouldn't be able to cover up such a blatant incompetency. You have them right where you want them. Order! Order in the court! Mr. Cuthbert, what is the meaning of this? I'll tell you what the meaning behind this is, Your Honor. As the autopsy report states, the victim died from the stab wound originating from his back. But this photo clearly shows that the sword entered from his front. That can only mean one thing. The sword was inserted into the wound after the fatal wound has already been created. That's crazy! Do you honestly expect us to believe that? Then please enlighten me, Commander White. How else would the sword be facing the opposite way? Do you think my client stabbed the victim with the hilt of her sword? I didn't think so. What really happened is clear. The real murderer stuck the sword right through the victim's wound to implicate my client. But they made a clearest mistake and stuck the sword through the opposite side.
Objection!
It appears that I underestimated you, Mr. Cuthbert. But you still got ahead of yourself.
Really, Miss Steelwind? I believe that Mr. Cuthbert has acquittedly cast doubt on your case.
Adequately.
Oh.
Oh, did he now? Then let me ask you one question, Mr. Cuthbert. If your client didn't kill Flint Hart McCoy, then who did?
How the fuck should I know? I'm just defending her. I would literally say that too.
I'm just trying to...
How should I know? See?
I just know who didn't do it.
If it's not my mistake, it's the commander's job to figure that out.
Oh, I'm well aware of the commander's incompetence. But one fact still stands.
This music's pretty good.
I'm the defense lawyer, not the cops.
Exactly. I would say that too. That's why I'd be a terrible lawyer.
There was magic detected on the wound and the sword. Would you like for me to tell you how many mages live in that small town?
You don't like where she's going with this.
Just one. There's only one registered mage in that entire town. And that mage is your client.
What?
The defendant was also established to have been with the victim hours before his death. Which is the last known person with him. And she was the only mage there. In addition to that, I have several witnesses who heard them arguing. How she murdered the victim is simply an unanswered question.
I see. That certainly does change this matter. I can't say that the prosecution's evidence is irrefutable, but there is still evidence that casts guilt on the defendant. Defendant. Damn it, you almost had them. There are far too many unanswered questions for me to pass a verdict. We will give law enforcement time to clear these unknowns. I suggest that they conduct their investigation more thoroughly this time. We'll resume the trial tomorrow morning. Court is adjourned.
Damn.
That was fast.
Smack that gavel down. Hello, Cuthbert. I wanted to call it Cuthbert.
As you walk out of the room with Celeste, you are greeted by Miss Tamura.
You remind me of Cuthbert.
Miss Tamura, you're here? Recall how you froze up during the first cross-examination. You feel a little ashamed that your mentor saw all of that.
Well, at the end of the day, you were able to pull it together. And once you did that, you performed adequately, like my last lover. On that note, I wanted to give you this.
Celeste's Spell Compendium. It's Celeste McCoy's Spell Compendium. It contains the formula for the following spell, Mage Blade. For the duration of this spell, the edges of this object, usually a blade, become unnaturally sharp, making it more effective at slashing through tough material. One of the effects of the spell, the object emits a yellow radiant glow. The target object must not be longer than a 5-foot cube.
My spell compendium? I swiped it from the dining area before the Inquisition arrived. I thought it'd be best for you to have it.
So, this is your spell compendium? And it only has one spell.
Mage Blade.
That means that the prosecution has to prove that Celeste used this specific spell.
It will restrict how you approach the case, which gives you an edge over them. But that prosecutor is really something else.
You mean Prosecutor Steelwind? You can still remember her ripping glare. It gives you chills just thinking about it.
You wouldn't even know it, but this was also her first trial. Really? I thought that her inexperience would make for a good opponent. But that girl, she's a natural in the courtroom. Makes me wonder why Steelwind would choose to become an attorney in the first place. What do you mean? The Steelwinds are a powerful noble house. Of the noble families, they are one of the few who answer directly to the king. Most members of the house take high-ranking positions in the kingdom's military. So it's a bit strange that she chose to become a prosecutor despite that.
Steelwind. I feel like I've heard it somewhere before.
In any case, it's best for you to focus on the trial. You have about a day until the court resumes. Right, now that I have time, I'd like to ask you some... Oh, that's for you.
Right. Now that I have time, I'd like to ask you a few questions, Celeste. Namely about the argument you had with your father.
Oh...
You see the bailiff staring daggers at Celeste. It looks like they're waiting to take her back to her cell. Whatever questions you have for her will have to wait.
We should probably go.
Celeste walks away, avoiding eye contact with you. Bringing up her argument with Flintheart may have struck a nerve. I use this opportunity to investigate the crime scene. I wouldn't be surprised if the Inquisition missed something.
You ought to embarrass them today. Don't expect them to make the same mistake twice.
So they're going to make the same mistake every single case, aren't they?
No.
Come on, I know there's a lawyer from another universe that is not like ours who has to deal with this.
Shush. Carry on with the story.
What, I'm not allowed to use fourth wall breaking magic?
No.
Fine. Right, there's still a lot of things we don't know about.
As much as I hate to admit it, your skills in deduction far surpass mine. If anyone can figure out what really happened that night, it's you.
I was ready to call this guy a more confident, like, Gumshoe, but I don't think Gumshoe fucked up that badly.
I mean, Gumshoe did kind of fuck up, though.
Yeah, but that's usually less about them doing incompetent and just say, oh, it doesn't matter, and more like some last minute bullshit he didn't even know. And let's think about that one really for a second. You arrive back at McCoy Tavern. Luckily for you, the Inquisition set up a teleportation circle for you to use. With that circle, you can magically teleport between the capital and crime scene instantaneously.
How convenient.
It's definitely miles better than having to travel by carriage.
That's for sure.
Thanks for the follow, Kimmy Cub.
Rena is EP.
Yeah. Oh, it's you. What are you doing here? Commander White takes notice of you as you enter the tavern. It looks like he's working with a team of knights to investigate the crime scene. I'm the defense attorney in this case. I have just as much right to investigate the crime scene as you do. Yeah, whatever. Just remember, I got my eye on you, kid. I was wondering if I can ask you some questions about the case. Ha! As if I helped the likes of you. I saw who your boss is, and I know what they're up to. Which probably sent you here to con me.
Alright, well, I'm not in this scene, so I'm gonna take a quick piss.
Sure. What? I'm just looking for some information. A likely story. He's cooperating before when he let you see Celeste. Why is he being stubborn now? Is he angry that you embarrassed him in court today? In any case, you won't get anywhere at this rate. If you want his help, you'll need to persuade him through an argument. It helps you prepare before starting an argument with someone. Talk to our man and present items to him to build a psychological profile of him. If you successfully fill the profile gauge, you'll receive more information to argue arguments against him. What do you think about this? I don't know what you're expecting me to say. Not much to say about that. Best to try something else. Never seen a real spell compendium before. I'm still not exactly sure how they work. Well, spell compendiums are magical devices that display exactly which spell a mage can cast. You could probably guess, but the Inquisition uses these things all the time. Right, having that information is definitely a blessing for the defense and the prosecution. So what does the Arcane Inquisition do exactly? You try to pick a fight with me? No, I'm just genuinely curious. Well, I'm sure you already know, but us Inquisitors are investigate crimes that involve magic. Do crimes like this happen often? Nah, maybe once in a blue moon. Makes sense. Most mages are nobility after all. Even if they're untouchable, they don't make a habit of getting into trouble with the law. You must have an easy job then. Heh, you got that right. The only reason we exist is to clean up the nobility's messes. He doesn't seem to be happy about that. Commander White, you seem to speak negatively about my client's magic. Do you have a personal grudge against mages? You're damn right I do. Wow, he didn't even try to deny it. And if you had any sense, you would too. All a mage has to do is wave their hands at some magic nonsense. Then you suddenly have a dead body on the ground. And don't get me started on mage blight. If some nobles use their magic too much, they end up snapping and going on a rampage. I don't know if this is going too far. But why join the Inquisition if you hate mages so much? Considering the fact that, that my job is to sweep the nobility's crimes under the rug. Sorry, I didn't mean to insinuate. Nope, you have the right of it. Anytime a noble is involved in a case, I'm ordered to look the other way. You don't seem very happy to do that. Why would you stay in the line of work? Because every once in a while, I'm allowed to pull a criminal mage behind bars. We can't go after the nobles, but any other mage is fair game. Or at least they were before your boss showed up. Your boss? Does he have something against Miss Timora? I have to ask, did something happen between you and Miss Timora? Ha! Miss Timora. What are you, her lackey or something? No, actually, she's my guardian. I didn't know she even had a... Look, kid, I don't know what the deal is between you two, but no good will ever come from associating with her. This is about the rumors, isn't it? Though, after years, there have been several insidious rumors surrounding Miss Timora. She's been accused of forgery, blackmail, and all manners of illegal activity. It's clearly a misinformation spread by the nobility to discredit her. She's always been fine with me, but you can't help but get angry on her behalf. It's more than just rumors. I've seen it for myself. That woman is evil, kid. She defends mages who don't have the prosecution of the nobility. She's not evil, she's a hero. Yeah, whatever. Psychological profile is complete. Commander White seems unusually hostile towards you, and you have a feeling it's not just because you're embarrassed him in court today. If you can clear up the misunderstanding, you might be able to convince him to help you. Alright, I'm just gonna come out and say it. Do you have a problem with me, Commander White? You should know exactly what my problem is with you. I saw who you work for. Do I have to spell it out for you? Or does your boss not tell you what she gets up to? Arguments are not always fought using hard evidence. Sometimes you need to allocate to convince your opponent that their claim is wrong. When prompted for an allocation, choose from one of three possible answer responses. The correct response can be gleaned from reading your psychological profile. Commander White is stubborn in his ways. He seems to have a grudge against Ruby Timora and will react negatively if you try to defend her. However, he respects you if you defended yourself against personal attacks.
Interesting.
Doesn't matter how you feel about me. What matters is that my client deserves a fair trial and fair representation. It doesn't matter how you feel about me or Miss Timora. What matters is that my client deserves a fair trial with fair representation. All I'm trying to do is give that to her. I've seen that woman do all kinds of shady shit in the cases I've worked. Forgery, bribery, blackmail, you name it. You're just another crook. I'll bet you're the same, a successor to the devil of defense attorneys. Forgery, blackmail, bribery? Forgery, bribery, blackmail? Have you seen me do any of those things? Because all I've done so far is point out the mistakes you've made. Look, kid, I'd like nothing more than to believe you, but But after everything I've seen her do, I know better. I have no reason to trust you. Anyone taught by that woman can't be anything more than a crook. Her ways of teaching me was ruthless, I'll give you that. But the only thing that she taught me was how to practice law. Have you seen me engaged in any crook-like behavior? Yeah, it's like Magic Ace Attorney. And me being a sorcerer of arcane and Rena here being a time witch, it caught my eye. Speaking of which, you there, Rena?
Yes. I'm here now.
Ah. Yep. You just want some info, right? Yes, that's all I'm asking for. Alright, I'll answer your questions. Just don't make me regret this. That was a good success. So the first thing we should do is talk. It probably goes without saying, but I don't believe that the sword is the murder weapon. Right, I guess you have to prove that someone else put the sword there. Did the Inquisition find anything suspicious on the scene? If you're asking if we found another bloody weapon lying around, we certainly didn't. That would be a little too convenient, wouldn't it? But let's say that the girl really is being framed. If there was another murder weapon, the killer probably walked off with it. Do you think they could have hidden it somewhere in the tavern? Doubt it. After the trial, Steelwind turned the place upside down and scanned it with her magic. If someone did hide a murder weapon here, they hid it well. Or they hid it in plain sight. Can't believe you made such an obvious mistake during your investigation. Oh, shut it with that. I already got an earful from Steelwind about that mess. Well, you don't have to worry about me mucking things up. Steelwind's basically taken over the entire investigation. Wait, does she have the authority to do that? Normally she wouldn't, but I know better than to go against orders from a noble. Right, there's definitely a strange power dynamic between them. But honestly, that girl sweats the details too much. She even made my men draw up a scaled map of the crime scene. Wait, really? Do you have a copy? Sure, knock yourself out. Don't know how much it will do you.
Map.
I heard that the prosecutor Steelwind's first trial. She must be pretty talented if that's true. Hey, thanks for the raid, Amatron. How you been? Do. A pain in my ass is what she is. Splatoon dailies. I haven't played Splatoon in a long ass time. Like, I think of last time I played it was like a few months ago. What about you, Rena?
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
That damn noble comes in here telling me how to do my job. I honestly have no idea what she's even doing in this line of work. I heard that she's from a renowned noble house. She must be pretty powerful mage. Ha! Powerful was an understatement. The steel winds who came before her could turn this entire city into a glass crater. What? There's no way that's true, right? Let's look around. Chalk outline. Probably where he died. Nothing seems out of place here. What about the... There's a broken bottle on the floor. It's shattered close to the chalk outline of the body. The label has the word lotus juice on it. I never heard of that brand before. Must be foreign. It's a painting of a mage. There's some text to it. Samala Dalea, the legendary practitioner of the arcane arts, he mysteriously disappeared one day. It's rumored that he was developing a formula for a new transmutation spell. However, he was reckless in casting the spell, and Delilah quickly lost control of the magic. His body was never found. Many speculate that he didn't actually die during the accident, but if that's true, where did he end up? Sounds like a cautionary trail against using magic. That might explain why Flintheart keeps it at his tavern. It's a painting of a man in a suit. Some text on it. Adam Evlight, politician of Pedantic. I heard of this guy. He's some kind of politician from one of the nations west of here. I heard he's pretty much a shoo-in to win whatever election they have going here. Election? Was Flintheart studying democracies for his little revolution? Modern looking lamp on the wall. Lamp powered by artificery. I didn't expect to find something that sophisticated and sound like this. Bah! Artificery is just another form of magic. Actually, artificery draws from the surrounding ley lines too. I didn't ask for a science lesson, kid. Anyways, look where the artificery got these folks. The arcane power cell broke and they haven't had any power for weeks. Yep, nothing can beat a good old oil and flame. The McCoy Inn is outfitted with several lamps powered by artificery. However, the arcane power cell has been broken for weeks and the lamp can't be turned on. The Inquisition lit some candles, but there's a magical lamp right there. I wonder why they're not using those instead. You noticing anything?
Not really.
Yeah, I think we checked about everything.
Is there anything on the tables?
All of them are white. I've checked them. You think you found everything you can here, but what does it all mean? There's no murder weapon to be found, and there's no obvious evidence of another person at the scene. Hey, you okay? You got quiet all of a sudden. Alright, just focus. Close your eyes and let everything else disappear from the world. Hey, you listening? So, there's no clear evidence pointing to another killer. There is, however, evidence pointing to how Flintheart moved before his death. What? What can we tell about how Flintheart died? There's no blood trail leading to or from the body. What does it imply about the location of Flintheart's death?
Flintheart?
No, I think the killer attacked... No, wait. No, Flintheart didn't move during...
The murder.
Yeah. Flintheart died where he was attacked. He didn't move from his position at all. Yeah, I guess you're right. There's also the autopsy report, which says that he died from a stab from behind. He was probably caught off guard and was too incapacitated to move anywhere else. That means that the attack happened at the exact position he fell over. There's also the shattered bottle of lotus juice. I doubt it means anything, but the shattered bottle was right next to the body. Flintheart dropped the bottle during the attack. Flintheart dropped the bottle when he was attacked. From that, we can infer that he was holding it the moment before he was attacked.
Infer.
Infer. What's so strange about one bottle, though? It may seem like an insignificant detail, but that detail could help me infer other elements of what happened during the murder. Hey, there's a Porygon.
Yeah, Porygon.
You want one? Hang on, Chad. I gotta go catch it. Crap, I'm out of Pokeballs.
I get more.
Yeah, what about you? My thing's not loading up. I might not be able to get it. I could try, but it doesn't seem to be loading up.
I think they just put exclamation point by Ultra Ball like 5.
Alright. Alright, there we go. Let me see if I got it now. But the detail could help me infer other elements of what happened during the murder. Right. Infer. There's also the fact that the artificery lights wear out. Were those candles here when you arrived at the crime scene, Ormy? No, we had to light some so we could see the crime scene properly. We thought it was weird too. The girl and her father must have had their argument in pitch black darkness. So they didn't light any candles to make up the broken lights. The crime scene had no lighting during the murder.
Wow.
The crime scene had no lighting during the murder.
Didn't even catch it before I got on right now.
Rip. The McCoy Inn is out with some of these, however, the power cell. This means the lights were not operational during the murder. The argument that Celeste had with Flintheart must have been spontaneous. They weren't planning to have a conversation in this room. In this darkness, Flintheart wouldn't have a lot of visibility. If he was stabbed from behind, he probably didn't see it coming. He was clearly surprised and was probably in too much shock to run away. Also, the bottle may seem insignificant, but he was holding it when he was attacked. Maybe he was pouring a drink for himself, or maybe it was for a visitor. Either way, the assailant must have been unseen by Flintheart, kid. Or the assailant attacked them from the blind spot while his back was turned. Why would his back be turned, though? Was he distracted by something? Kid! What? What was that all about? Sorry, sometimes I just get lost in my own thoughts. Yeah, well, cut it out. You're freaking me out. Right. Anyways, you think you found everything you can here. You should move somewhere else.
Upstairs?
Let's try. If people keep seeing you here, you're gonna start asking questions. Oh, that's you.
Oh. Leave the investigation to me. All you have to do is stay quiet until the trial is over.
While heading upstairs, you spot the prosecutor having a conversation with someone. They seem to be in some kind of argument.
That's a dude.
Oh, enough. I will do as I see fit. It may be a steel wind, but this is my land. Oh, sorry. Oh, you're the defense attorney from the trial. I am. I'm sorry, but who? Ah, how rude of me. My name is Lord Garrick Pierce, the ruling noble of this land.
Hi.
That should say puntable, not nobleman.
I disagree. I'd smooch him.
I'd kill him. As the ruling noble, I suppose I should thank you for playing your role for the current trial. As misguided as it may be. Yeah, I punch him. I punch him square in his dick face. I suppose that you also think my client is guilty? It does not matter what I think. The entire scandal has done nothing but rile up the common folk. Magic is a gift for the nobility and the nobility alone. It is a symbol of the aristocracy and our divine right to rule. And now that bastard child has tainted that symbol in the public eye. All that has nothing to do with her. She's just an innocent woman who got wrapped up in all this. Even if she is innocent, the charges have been laid and made public. Someone must take the fall, lest the public accuse the justice system of corruption. So you're saying that she should be found guilty even if she's innocent. What do you suppose will happen if she's acquitted? All the public will see is a mage going free despite a myriad of evidence. That alone would be enough to cause public outrage. Tension between the aristocracy and the common folk are high enough as it is. What is one insignificant girl when compared to the stability of our great kingdom?
You have a point.
No.
Off to their head.
Rena, I also have a better point. A scythe to his neck.
No.
Yes. These are the kind of nobility that I told you that I hate.
He's got a good point.
That's fucked up.
That's enough. Stop antagonizing him, Pierce. I can't refute what he said, but I don't disagree with it.
You don't agree with it.
I don't agree with it.
What?
The system should be based on truth and justice, not public opinion.
Then why are you working against my client? You honestly think she's the kind of person that would kill her father?
It doesn't matter what kind of person she appears to be. The evidence clearly points to her as the only possible killer.
Hmm.
But you should fight according to your own ideals.
So maybe she's not actually exactly Edgeworth.
Just as I will fight for mine.
Yeah, I don't think she's exactly Edgeworth, so... It's hard to get a read on that woman. Several doors lead to guest rooms. Aside from the rooms that you and Miss Timura use, they don't look like they've been open for quite a while. There are some candles lighting up the hallway. They look like they've been used as part of the old architect. There's a door at the end of the hallway. It looks like it's seen some use recently. I try to open it, but it seems locked. Perhaps someone might have the key to open it. Yeah, maybe we should go back downstairs or head to the other spots. Let's try the barracks. You return to the cell that Celeste is being kept in. The ambient despair in the air fills your mind with a horrendous stench. You do your best to ignore the emotions of the other prisoners, but you had much practice blocking out this many people. As you arrive, you see Celeste huddled down in a corner. As soon as you see you, her dour mood seems to lift, if only for a moment.
Oh, hi, Mr. Cuthbert.
There's no need to address me so formally. Just call me Tyrion.
Okay.
I almost called him Tyrone. Anyways, I came here to ask you some questions about the case.
Right.
Oh, why am I doing that? I'm sorry for freezing up like that. I almost lost us to trial.
No, there's no need to apologize. You did great.
But it was only thanks to her. If she hadn't calmed you down, who knows what might have happened.
But I still don't understand, though. Why were there traces of magic on Dad's body?
Right, those traces of magic were in the sword and the body. Magical traces are particles of magical residue that are left behind when a mage casts a spell. They only linger around 48 hours, and that gives you a rough timeline of when and where the spell is cast. Did you cast Magic Blade on your sword that day?
I did. I usually cast it when I train in the morning.
That explains why there was traces on the sword, at least.
Did the trace on my sword leave a magical trace on my dad's body?
No, magical traces can't be moved around physically. For a spell to leave a trace, it has to be active when physical contact is made.
Really? What does that mean then?
Whatever killed your father had a transmutation spell active on the time. The magical trace on your sword was just an unlucky coincidence.
I can't believe this.
Could you tell me more about your father? Sorry, I know this must be difficult after everything that's happened.
No, it's okay. If it helps you, I'll try my best to answer your questions.
Were you too close?
We were. I'm sure you know this by now, but I was adopted by him and my mom. But even though I didn't have their blood, they treated me as if I did. He loved me with all his heart until...
Until? Until what? Does this have something to do with the argument that they had? I'm sorry to say this, but I could hear your argument from my room that night. Could you tell me about what happened?
For as long as I can remember, my dad hated mages. I'm not sure why. But if you even mentioned magic around him, he'd fly into a rage. So I hid my magic from my family.
But why I even learn magic in the first place? If you really wanted to, you could have gone your whole life without using it.
Ever since our tavern closed, my family's been in a lot of debt. I decided to become a mercenary and use my magic to enhance my ability to fight. Most mages are in the nobility, so people pay a lot for a sellsword who can use magic.
So that's why she's a mercenary.
But I know now, learning magic was the biggest mistake I've ever made. On that night, my dad found my spell compendium. And when he confronted me about it, I finally came clean to him. That's when he flew into another one of his rages. He shouted at me, told me I betrayed him and his family.
I'm so sorry. I can't imagine how that must have felt.
I deserved every bit of it. I knew how much he hated magic, but I learned to use it anyways. He showed me so much love and I just threw it all away.
Don't say that. I'm sure he still loved you.
No, I could see it in his eyes. He hated me.
And he died hating me. You feel a sharp pain in your chest as you see that thought. So, there's a locked room in the tavern. It's at the very end of the hallway upstairs. The Inquisition probably searched it already, but I just wanted to investigate it to make sure.
A locked room at the end of the hallway. I think that's my room.
Do you know how I can get in there? It's the only room in the tavern that I haven't investigated. You feel suspicious gaze from Celeste. What's that look for? I'm your lawyer. I'm not gonna do anything weird.
Sorry, you're right. Here, you can use this key to get inside.
Alright, now we're gonna go check out that room. We'll be back. There's some good music. Use the key to enter the room. However, you're startled when you notice that someone else is already inside.
Damn.
Boing! Look, call me immature, but that's boing. Them big.
Hey, I've already told you, Knights, everything I know. What more do you... Oh, aren't you Celeste's attorney?
I am. Who are you?
Oh, how rude of me. I'm Jolie McCoy. I'm Celeste's mother.
Oh, so that's a MILF boing. And with purple eyes. Blonde, MILF, boing. I think we need to show a certain princess this, see what their eyes is. Because that's also a MILF. And 46? Does that put them in hag territory?
Yep, technically.
Alright. I'm just gonna send her a screenshot and not give any context. Just see what the reaction is.
I was at the trial this morning. I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for my daughter.
No, that wasn't a keyboard smash. You'll know when a keyboard smash is a real thing. So this is Celeste's mother. She might be able to tell you more about Flintheart. About that. Do you mind if I ask you some questions for my investigation?
Of course, I'll do anything I can to help.
Start with the husband. Can you tell me why your husband hated mages so much? I understand that most people dislike the nobility and associate magic with them. But on that night, it was like he was fierce for Celeste specifically because she was a mage.
Oh, you must have talked to Celeste. I wasn't there when the argument happened, but I can only imagine what he said to her.
Do you know what happened to him? Why does he hate magic so much?
Celeste doesn't know about this, but Flintheart had a sister named Effie. When I was a child, we were friends with a boy named Garrick Pierce. He was the son of a ruling noble at the time.
Garrick Pierce. Isn't that little prick we saw earlier?
We were inseparable at the time. He'd always sneak in to play with us against his family's wishes.
They probably weren't too happy about that.
He was quite rebellious back then.
But he's a completely different person now.
But everything changed when the Fire Nation attacked.
Oh yeah, did you read that synopsis for the new Avatar one? No? Well, basically, do you like Legend of Korra?
That was decent.
Do you like Korra?
How's the character? Yeah.
Well, good luck. Like, look at the synopsis. There is no way in hell you can defend Korra. So it's quite literally a, well, defenders of Korra, good luck.
I mean, she wasn't a perfect character. She was fucking flawed, but that's why I liked her.
Do you want me to bring up the synopsis? Because, man.
Sure, I guess.
I'll DM it to you when I find it again, because I know you're probably going to want to go to bed soon.
Yeah. Soonish, yeah.
Yeah.
One day, when we were playing together, he wanted to show off the spells that he'd learned. He was told not to use magic without his instructor there, but he was just too excited.
And then something blow up.
Ben casting his spells, but something went horribly wrong.
Yeah, something definitely blew up.
He lost control of his magic and fatally wounded Effie.
Oof. Yep.
Oh, accidentally killed her. We tried bringing her back in town, but by the time it was too late, she was already gone.
Oh, so right-click hides the text. Oh. Sorry, that must have been traumatizing for all of you.
The next day, the Arcane Inquisition came to investigate what happened. House Pierce used their connections to cover up what happened. They even threatened Flintheart's family into keeping quiet. After that, the official story was that Effie had been mauled by a wolf.
That's not surprising. The nobility seldom take responsibility for their actions, even for a mistake like that. And that's why you always have to keep a guillotine or a scythe around their neck, no matter what. What?
I'm sorry, what?
No, I said that's why you always got to keep a guillotine on the side or a scythe around their neck just in case.
Why?
Because you don't want to let anything like that happen. And I don't mean the accident part. I mean the covering up the crimes and letting that shit happen part.
Uh-huh.
What, you don't believe me? I mean, I literally drilled that into my apprentice's head pretty early on. Flintheart's sister died during an accident involving Garrick Pierce and his magic. Ever since then, he had a hatred. He has hated magic and the mages who wield them.
Something changed in Flintheart after that. Began speaking out against the nobility.
I mean, can you blame him? He lost his sister and they just covered it up like she was nothing. I'm pretty sure even you would do the same thing, Rena.
Eventually, he started hosting rallies in this very tavern. Each night, more and more people began listening to his words and joining his cause. The number of people that he'd gotten under his banner was terrifying. There was even talk of an outright revolution against the kingdom.
That might explain why someone would go out of the way to kill him.
I knew how much danger he was putting himself in. But no matter how hard he tried, I couldn't convince him to stop. His attitude didn't even bring to change until we adopted Celeste.
So it's your call. You want to keep going or we save for now?
I'd say save.
All right. Next Monday, we will continue on with this. Anyone you want to suggest or request we head off to? Or see if anybody else is playing this game?
You can see if somebody else is playing the game. I usually like to do that.
Nope, just me again.
Do this. Harune Samiri is playing Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney.
Can you send me their thing? I don't think I follow them.
Okay.
Alright.
I know it's not exactly this game, but, you know, adjacent.
Oh, okay. Alright, let's see if we can actually raid them, because sometimes the suggestions don't let us raid. We'll just say Magic Ace Attorney raid, or something like that. Yeah, we can raid them. Alright, chat, thank you for joining today's Mischief Monday. I'm actually not going to be streaming tomorrow like I normally do. I'm going to take the time to finally rest up, let my body heal up. And, any last words, Brenna?
I'll be streaming tomorrow. You should watch me at 8 a.m. Teehee. Playing some Fields of Mystery.
Alright. And we will see you all next time, because Wednesday, when we play more Pseudogelia, and Thursday, Jolene's going to take over with one of her favorite games. See you all next time!